screw up this is. Well, I'm doing post commentary here, boys, because this is supposed to be part 49 of my Star Ocean 3 Let's Play, and it's basically the episode right before the end of the game, and it's basically just me going through the final dungeon. Now, I originally recorded this commentary with video when I was playing the game, and, well, you'll never guess, boys, it turns out that Tylord Stevenson, of all people, was talking during the video. Yeah, like, I must have had a video of Tylord's on in the background when I was recording this, so you can hear Tylord talk throughout the entire video, and because of this, I have to basically do this again. So, basically, here's this puzzle. I still can't remember how you're supposed to do it. I don't think I ever do, but you kind of have to, like, hit these crystals with like with like something. You kind of have to get the like this number. It's complicated. I don't even know how to do this puzzle. I just figured it out just by trying constantly, but it's something to do with those crystals, and you just kind of have to like mess about with it. But we can't really do it just yet. Yeah, like I've forgotten this game. I'm recording this like it was ages ago since I played this game. Seriously, but yeah, there we go. We got, it says 2 there. I don't really know what you're supposed to do here. Don't ask me, I haven't got a clue. Look it up. Surely someone on GameFAQs will give you the answer. But you can watch me actually playing it and solve the puzzle if you so wish. Just know that I don't have a clue how I did it. I just did it, and yep, that's basically all there is to it. So yeah, and they give you treasure for it. So yeah. Oh no, they don't. They make you fight those fucking old men. God damn it. Like, the title of this video was supposed to be old people. Mainly because I fight so many of these fucking old guys. But yeah, like, when I recorded this, it was in 2024 when I recorded this whole Let's Play. Well, it's 2025 now, and yeah, like, I'm recording this commentary in 2025. And I'm recording it at the end of February, so yeah, like, I forgot when I actually did this. Like, it was probably 4 months ago when I did this, which is, yeah. So, well, actually I don't even know, that's since it was uploaded, because I'm watching the, like, YouTube video right now, and, yeah, like, as you can see, I'm just kind of lost as per usual when I'm playing this game. It has been a while since I played it, so you gotta give me some slack here, people. But yeah, I basically put that freaking... I'm just basically messing around with this, trying to figure out what I'm actually doing. But I'm trying to actually figure this puzzle out. Yeah, it's the end of the game, and they're still throwing these fucking puzzles at you. So, yeah. But either ways... Now, as you can probably tell by the few videos I've been doing recently, like, you'll probably have seen that the channel has changed since, like, well, since 2024. I might as well talk about that right now because, well, yeah, I've already talked about it, but, yeah, I do have an idea for a series. This series will be in 2026. And it's basically going to be sort of like a solo podcast. Yeah, there you go, you get like treasure chests when you actually do that. But yeah, I thought I might as well just talk about this because I can't really talk about the game and do a post commentary over the game, like, especially when I don't really know what I'm doing in the game. Let alone, like, you know, it's different with Painkiller because I knew exactly what to say. With this, I don't. So I'm just going to kind of do a bit of an update. So, yeah, I've got this video idea that I wanted to do. As you all know, like, I'm kind of, like, moving away from, like, the highly edited stuff on the channel, mainly because life is getting in the way, and to be honest, I've felt kind of burnt out, and, yeah, like, I feel that content creation is, like, I don't know, I'm just not really as into it as I used to be, and a lot of it, like, there's a lot of complications. It's just, I don't know, I just don't really feel the drive anymore to do highly edited content. I just don't. It just doesn't feel worth it to me. And because of that, yeah, like, I am mainly doing stuff stuff like this. So the reason why I did this Let's Play to begin with was to do my video on the Valkyrie profile and Star Ocean 3 video. That's why I did it, because I did that at Star Ocean and Valkyrie profile. Well, I'm actually not going to say it here, because, yeah, like, it is a little bit spoilery, but I don't know, like, I basically, it's a video about Star Ocean 3 and not Pokemon. What am I talking about? It's a video of Star Ocean 3 and Valkyrie Profile and Valkyrie Profile 2, and I was like, well, I need to get footage for them, and I decided to do a Let's Play because of it. That's why I'm doing this Let's Play right now. So, yeah, and that was basically what I did to get the footage, pretty much. And I thought, well, I might as well replay Star Ocean 3 and do a Let's Play, because it gives me an excuse to do so, you know. And that's kind of why I'm here, that's kind of why I'm doing this. But, yeah, like, the video and idea that I wanted to talk about was, I wanted to do, like, a solo podcast where I basically just talk about games. I don't really, like, talk about, like, stuff like, for example, like, gaming topics in these videos. I talk about just the games themselves. That's not to say that the gaming topics are going away, no, it's just something completely new. And the thing about it is, and here's the downside, these videos don't have, they're not really videos, they're just basically just like me talking. It's like podcasts. So it's just going to be like text, it's just going to be like, not text, it's going to be just like my voice, and like it's just going to be like a screen. It's not going to be a blank screen, it's just going to have a picture on the screen, and yeah, that's it, and it's just going to be me talking. So it's basically intended for people to listen. The reason why I wanted to do this is because, well, you're seeing what I'm going through right now in this Let's Play. This is what I have to do when I'm recording footage for games. I have to play through the game all over again, record it, and then use its recordings in these highly edited videos, and that takes time. Now, I'm doing a Let's Play of this game right now, so you're actually seeing me go through the process of replaying these games just to get footage. But the thing is that ultimately I'd save a lot more time if I didn't do this, and time saving is crucial for me. I don't want to waste too much time like recording, because I don't really like playing video games to record them. I don't. That's part of the reason why I decided to do a Let's Play, as it was basically a way of kind of giving some purpose to the recordings besides just recording, because I hate recording so much, and I thought, if I'm going to record the whole game, I might as well just do a Let's Play. So that's why I decided to do this Let's Play. And yeah, it's been a bit of a pain. I mean, you'll see the final episode, I think 2 days from now, because I do it like every 2 days I'm uploading. So the final episode of this will be like 2 days from now. Well, not two, I'm not sure, like, I'm like, what day is it now? I'm trying to remember, because I've forgotten when it is, what day it is in the video. But yeah, like, there's basically every 2 days there's like a video. That's kind of what it's been like with the Let's Play. So there will be the final episode, which will be the next one. After that, there won't be any more Let's Plays, and there will be some discussion videos. That's kind of what's going to be happening. And yeah, so on top of that, there's going to be this new podcast thing, and that's kind of what I'm looking to do. And I'm not saying it's going to be anything great, but it's a way for me to ramble about games that I usually couldn't ramble about because I couldn't get footage for them. Like games that I couldn't record for whatever reason and couldn't get footage for, I now can actually talk about. And that means that you can listen to me talk about games that I may not have covered before. So I think there's some value in that, but at the same time, it depends on whether or not you like to listen to me ramble. But either ways, as you can see here, this gameplay right now, like this video right now is just me going through the final dungeon of the game. There's not really much else to say. I mean, like these enemies take forever, like mainly because they're so small and like they don't soak up all of the hits of Scabby, and it's just like, but yeah. It's just, this final dungeon, while it's not the worst of the final dungeon, while it's not the worst of the dungeons in this game, it's still takes some time to get through. I mean, it's not as bad as the dungeon beforehand, the freaking firewall, that place was a nightmare. But, yeah, I mean, as you can tell, like, there's battles going on and all this, which, yeah, like, because you can't hear, like, the Skybeam audio, it's not the same without hearing Maria scream Skybeam every 5 seconds. It's just not. But unfortunately, you can't hear it. I do apologize for this. I'm only showing this because, well, it's just so that people can figure out what it is they're actually doing and, like, get them, so that they can get through the dungeon in case they're stuck. And yeah, I think it's important to have this video up for that, because they might be able to figure something out by doing it, but, well, by watching it. But yeah, it's just gonna be me fighting random shit. So because of that, there's not really much that I can talk about, so I decided I'd do a topic. I know that usually my topical videos aren't half a let's play, but I wanted to do a topic anyways, and this topic is basically talking about things I look for in video games. Now, the thing about me is, and if you know me you'll know this, is that I'm a very particular gamer. I'm very particular with the sort of games that I play. I'm very picky, and yeah, my taste in games is kind of complicated. And I kind of wanted to explain the things that I like, the things that I look for in video games, whilst also explaining the things that are deal breakers for me in games. And, well, I'm going to talk about the things that are deal breakers first, because, well, there are quite a lot of reasons why I won't play a video game. Now, I've already said before that I don't take recommendations. I don't listen to recommendations from people. Why? Because I don't really think that people understand what it is that I really want. But even knowing what I really want, I still don't want recommendations, because really I can quite easily find games myself. Like, I don't need people to tell me about video games. I really don't. I'll just look them up if I want to find them. And if I don't want to find them, if I don't find them, then it doesn't really matter. It's not that important. So, yeah. Anyways, so the first thing that is a deal breaker for me in a video game is booby traps. Like, games that just are full of booby traps and like have like things that just come out of nowhere and like damage you and stuff, like be it on like the floor or something that you step on and suddenly there's an explosion out of nowhere and you take damage. Like, I hate shit like that. Like, shit like that is annoying because it makes me super paranoid all the time, and anything that just makes me super paranoid just kind of kills the fun of the experience for me and just makes it needlessly annoying, and I hate that. I really hate that. It's almost like the game's punishing you for playing it the intended way. Now, there are some like traps that I can tolerate, even though I don't like them. Like, there's games that have booby trapped treasure chests, like Valkyrie Profile, which I don't really like them, but I can tolerate it because I don't really have to open the chests. I can just basically, like, I mean, this game has one. It has one in the Shrine of Kadan, but it's the only one in the game. They had to shoehorn the trap treasure chest somehow in this game. But, yeah, like, I really don't like them. I never have. I hated them in, like, Final Fantasy 12 when they, like, littered the whole fucking fields full of them, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, why? Why put these things here? What purpose do they serve other than being annoying? I fucking hate it. And there's so many games that do this. Like, Elder Scrolls fucking does it. Like, fucking, like, all kinds of crazy traps, like fucking dropping you into fucking spikes, like fucking invisible, like fucking floors that just fade away and then you fall down like a pit, and like there's so many of them, and they can just come out of nowhere, and you just, like, I know what people are going to say, well, you know, if you pay attention you won't be hit by them, but the thing about it is that regardless of whether you pay attention or not, like the thing is, like, I don't like the fact that they're there. I just don't. Even if I can solve them, I just don't like the fact that they're there. But not only that, I also hate the fact that, like, I have to constantly pay attention to these little things. I don't want to constantly have to pay attention to every single thing that I'm moving around for fear of being punished by the game. I just want to enjoy my experience without having to pay full attention to everything. I want to, like, I'm someone who can appreciate the aesthetics of the game. Just don't force me to, like, pay attention to small, minute details, because of course I'm not going to. And if that's your way of doing it, then really you're just being annoying and you're going to lose. You're basically going to make me not want to play your game. I fucking hate when games do this. It pisses me off. And that's why I just won't play games that do it. I just fucking hate it. And there's a lot of games that do it, like Soulsborne games, they pretty much all do it, you know, like, I mean, come on, the fucking Mimic from Dark Souls is pretty, like, renowned for, like, screwing people over, and, like, for example, there's tons of other booby traps and stuff, like, there's one in Bloodborne where you just get hit by this giant wooden thing, or whatever the hell, like, there's this giant wooden spike thing that will hit you, and it's just, like, just simply because you stood on a bunch of twigs. It's like, how in the fuck were you supposed to see that coming? It's just bullshit. And just stuff like that just is a deal breaker. I just refuse to engage with that, and if you're going to put that in your game, you instantly lost the sale from me. I'm just not going to play it. So, yeah, like, you got tons of games that do it besides Soulsborne, like Brandish and all of that. I just don't like it. It's just something that I've never liked and I always hated, and it's a deal breaker for me. So, yeah, that's the first deal breaker. The next deal breaker is pretty well known. If you've been on my channel for long enough, you'll know that I really hate always online DRM, but to me it really is a deal breaker, and I should bring it up because it is. But basically, any game that is basically an MMO or is always online, which includes gacha games and live service games, all of them, like, I refuse to play them because I'm very possessive of my save data, so when my save data is stored on a server and I have to have an account to log into that to access that save data that anyone can just hack and steal easily without, it's just like, and that's happened to me before, like, no, I want access to my data, I want access to my save data that I can store myself on my hard drive, or the cloud, or wherever I want to store it. I want that freedom, because I like to preserve my work and my efforts. If you're going to take that away from me by, like, if you're going to take that away from me by making your game always online, then I'm not going to play your game. It's that simple. Because my save data matters to me. I'm not going to fucking, like, risk losing all of my progress just simply because the server's shut down. Fuck that. Like, I want to keep playing even when the servers are gone. And I want to keep my save file, so let me keep my fucking save file. And that's why I refuse to play games that have always online DRM. I just refuse. I mean, gacha games are even worse because it's like you got all these unethical bullshit microtransactions on top of it. I mean, some MMOs do as well, so usually live service is just bullshit and it's just not good for anyone. So I just refuse to engage with any game like that. Those are definitely a deal breaker for me. The next deal breaker for me is frustrating games. Now, I suppose there are a few frustrating games that I have been able to cope with, but I guess, like, that's, like, it's hard to say, like, what the line is and where I draw the line, but basically, like, I don't want to play a frustrating game. Like, I want to play a fun game. Like, I don't care if the game is piss easy. Like, if a game is piss easy and doesn't fucking annoy the fuck out of me, I'd rather play that. Even if it's boring, I'd much rather play that than a game that pisses me off. Because, like, this is my free time, people. I don't want to be stressed and frustrated in my free time. I want to relax. There's plenty of stresses and frustrations in life without having to, like, waste all my time, like, playing something really frustrating and annoying. I mean, I say that when I'm playing fucking this game. God damn it. But, yeah, like, there's a point where I can somewhat stomach it, and I guess this game's, like, one of those situations. Like, I think the thing about Star Ocean 3 is that even though it can be a bit frustrating, because I know how to break it, it's not as bad, and when you know how to break it, it's nowhere near as frustrating. But yeah, when I first played this game, it was very annoying. Like, very annoying, and it's just like, oh. But the thing about it is with this game, and the thing that's annoying, is just how unbalanced everything is. Especially compared to like all the other games in the series. Like, this game has basically bugger all balance, and yeah, that's a big problem. So yeah, frustrating games are a no-no for me. The next is Nintendo exclusives that are modern games. Now, obviously, I'll still play the classic Nintendo games, don't get me wrong, because, you know, if it's like before the 3DS or the Wii, I'll probably, like, and all that lot. Even though I don't really like it, I still have those systems, so yeah. Basically, I don't own a Switch, and I have no real intention of getting one, so if a game releases on the Nintendo Switch, I'm probably not going to play it. Like, I just don't want to engage in Nintendo. I fucking hate that company. I despise it. I mean, there was Xenoblade Chronicles, and that game was on the Wii, and when you actually find out things that I actually look for in games, you actually realise that Xenoblade Chronicles actually does one of the things that I like, but I haven't bothered with it because, as I say, like, even though the first one is available on Wii, the fact that all the rest of them are going to be Nintendo exclusives makes me not want to, like, get into that series. I just don't want to. Just simply because I just don't want to play anything related to Nintendo. I hate that company. I hate what that company's done. That doesn't mean I hate every single Nintendo game. That just means that I hate the company. I despise it. And I just don't want to show support for it. I don't want to have to buy a fucking Nintendo Switch. I don't want to have to buy a Nintendo Switch. Just fuck the Nintendo Switch. I hate that console. I fucking do. But yeah, I just hate Nintendo as a company in general. I fucking hate them, and yeah, I just want to put Nintendo behind me. I have been Nintendo free for over a decade now. Like, I just want to move on from Nintendo, because fuck Nintendo. And last, but certainly not least, the final deal breaker for me is high school settings. Like, I fucking despise high school settings in video games, and there's a lot of JRPGs that have high school settings in them, you know, and like, especially nowadays for some reason, mainly because of freaking Persona popularizing it and all that shit. Now it's more common than ever. Like, you see high school settings in fucking Fire Emblem now, for God knows what reason, and fucking Trails, and fucking, like Vanillaware games, they have fucking 13 Sentinels. You know, you got like fucking... God, there's just so many. Like, as I say, there's Blue Reflection, there's another one. Fucking... How many of them are there, man? There's just too many to fucking list. Like, I'm probably missing so many, but like, there's just too many. Like, Valkyria Chronicles, there's another one. There's just too many fucking games where you have... We're just set in this academy of some kind, and I hate that. I fucking hate that setting with a passion. It's something that hasn't... I mean, it is something that's been in games for a while, don't get me wrong, and it's an anime trope that's pretty common, but I find that nowadays it's more common than ever, and it really infuriates me how so many games that I really used to love have basically devolved into basically just having this high school setting, and I hate it. I fucking hate it when game developers decide to do that and, like, put, like, shoehorn a high school setting into a fucking JRPG. It just pisses me off. I fucking hate it. There's nothing worse for me than a high school setting. Like, it really fucking pisses me off. But, yeah, those are the main deal breakers. I mean, there might be more, but those are the things that I can think of on the top of my head. You could call them pet peeves if you want to, but, yeah, like, there are a few other things that are kind of deal breakers. Like, I'm not a fan of puzzles, so games that have a lot of puzzle solving I'm not really into either. And, like, but I can somewhat stomach some level of puzzle solving, but if the game is basically all about the puzzle solving, and I don't feel rewarded elsewhere, then yeah, I'm going to not really like it. Like, I don't play games to solve puzzles, people. I play games to actually play the fucking game. I know! What a fucking concept that is! But, yeah. Anyways, I want to talk about things that I look for in games. Things that I actually like, that I look for whenever I play a video game. So, there's quite a few things I look for, but the thing is that I don't I don't necessarily look for everything that everybody looks for, but there are a few things that really will convince me to pick up the game. Now, the first thing that I look for, and this is the thing that Xenoblade Chronicles has, and yeah, like, the only reason why I won't bother with it is because of fucking Nintendo. I mean, the thing is, I have seen Kakino Solar play it, and I've seen it, and it looks okay, but I just, like, I'm not going to get into it because I just refuse to play on the Nintendo system. I just refuse. But yeah, the thing that I look for is interesting world concepts. Now, the same guys who made Xenoblade Chronicles also made Baten Kaitos, and I love Baten Kaitos. The first Baten Kaitos especially is just an amazing game. I love that game, and that game has a fucking really unique world. I really do love that universe, like just the floating islands and everybody having wings and like fly around, and like how you've got like transportation between all of these islands that each have their own different kind of like appearance and like cultures and everything. I really love that. I really love it. It's just so surreal, but in a good way. And I love that surrealness. Like, that's one of the reasons why I play JRPGs, people. It's the surreal stuff. I mean, look at what I'm playing right now. Look at where we are. Look at this place. This place is surreal as all hell. You won't see a place like this in real life. It just wouldn't happen. But that's the appeal of these games for me. That's why I play these JRPGs, because I get to go to all these weird, surreal worlds, like the Spiral Tower that we're in right now. You know? That's the appeal, and I love that. The next thing I look for is a phenomenal OST, which, God, I wish I could like show the OST of this area, man. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll play like the OST for this area in the background of the video, just so that you can listen to it, because I actually love the final dungeon theme of this game. I really do. It's definitely a great one. And I know it didn't really make my top 10 list, but that's because I also really like the ones from Star Wars 5 as well. And it's like, it was the toss-up between the two, and I was like, you know what, I'll just give it to Star Wars 5 because I really do like that one. I really do. But this final dungeon theme I really do like as well. It's a great final dungeon theme. It really is. And I think that, like, obviously, if I do play it, there's going to be during the battles as well, which will be a bit weird. But yeah, like that. But yeah, like, that's one of the things that I do like. I love a good soundtrack. Soundtracks are so important to me. Like, if you get the soundtrack right, then that's a big deal. It really is a big deal. Like, if the soundtrack is boring, then like it is going to impact my interest in the game to some degree. But if the soundtrack is really, really good, then it can potentially save a terrible game and make me want to play it. Like the Sword of Eteria, for example. That's a game that is really, like, not that great, but I don't regret playing it just simply because it had an amazing soundtrack, you know? Final Fantasy XII is another one. Even though I hate it because of its fucking booby traps, the soundtrack is amazing. I love the soundtrack of that game by Hitoshi Sakimoto. I really do. I mean, it's not as good as this game, but it's still really good. Like, obviously Valkyrie 2, that soundtrack's phenomenal. That soundtrack is peak. The best soundtrack of all time as far as I'm concerned. And then you got the East series, which also has pretty awesome soundtracks, particularly the Hudson Soft East games, which have ridiculously good soundtracks. So yeah, I love a good soundtrack. A soundtrack can make or break a game for me. I know it sounds a bit weird because I'm not really big into music. I don't really listen to bands or anything like that like a lot of people do. Just never got into it, never got into that. I just listen to video game music. I know that might make me sound like a normie, but so be it. Like, I was brought up with video games, not really music. Like, music is just, I'm not into music culture or anything like that, but I love video game music. So yeah, like, this game has some great songs as well, and I'm a big fan of it, so yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with, like, the interesting world concepts. It's the same sort of thing. Like, video game music tends to be very surreal in its own way. It serves a different purpose than just something you listen to. Like, usually music exists to express something. And the thing about it is when the music is designed for a game, it's expressing a game's world. And that's something that... Oh, yeah, that's my controller. Yeah, good news, people. My controller is fixed. well, not fixed. I've got a new controller since I did this whole Let's Play. My controller that was fucked and made me walk into a wall right there. Yeah, like I'm not using that anymore. I'm using a 8-bit Do controller now, and that works perfectly fine. So yeah, I've replaced that. Thank God. But anyways, so next I want to talk about the next thing I love about video games, and that is customization and freedom. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, freedom is the core of why I play video games. The ability to basically go wherever I want, do whatever I want. Like, we live in a world where, while we do have some freedom, our freedom is limited. Whereas in a video game, freedom can potentially be limitless, and you can do all kinds of things. And I love that. I love the fact that I have the freedom to just murder people. Like, if I'm having a bad day, I can just say, right, I'm gonna just murder everybody. I'm gonna go destroy the entire planet. Right, let's play a game that lets me destroy the entire planet. There we go. You know, and that sometimes you want that. And the thing about it is, and this goes beyond that, because I love customizing stuff. I'm a somewhat creative person. I'm creative-minded. I don't claim to be good at creating things, but I'm driven to create. I have that drive. So, like, whenever games have like a feature that lets me create my own whatever it is, or any form of sandbox, like, that's a big deal for me. Like, I'm in. Like, that can make or break a game. That can make a game for me just by having that feature. It can open up a whole new dimension to the game, and that can basically turn what a game that I would have played for like, I don't know, 30 hours to a game that I played for like 300 hours, just simply because now I actually have a reason to like play the game for longer. And yeah, that's one of the things that I really love. Now, the next one I want to talk about, I mean, actually before I talk about that, as I say, like, I really love like customization, but the thing about Star Ocean, and since we're talking about Star Ocean, with this game aside, this game doesn't have much in terms of customization, unfortunately, but usually the Star Ocean games have, I mean, I guess I have like the costumes, which I can like give to the characters. That's one thing that I can do, which, as you can see, I've got like the battle trophy costume for like 120 battle trophies I've got right here. But like, I'm not really talking just about that. I'm talking about like, you can do all kinds of like skills and stuff, and like you can learn skills in any order you want, for the most part, in a lot of the Star Ocean games. That's one of the things that they kind of did away with in this game, which is kind of disappointing. But I love the skill system in Star Ocean 2. I love like character management and stuff, and I love creative modes even more. So if you give me freedom to do whatever the fuck I want, then that's a game that I'm interested in, even if it fucks the balancing completely. And that's the thing, like, a lot of people will complain when you give too much freedom to a game that that it has no balance. Like, oh no, now the game's not balanced because you give too much freedom. And I'm like, fuck the balance. Like, I don't give a shit about the balance. I just want the freedom to do things my way, you know? And that's why I like games like Grandia 2, even though, yes, it's not really balanced, but who gives a fuck? I made the decision, and that's all that matters, you know? I wanted to make the decisions because I like making decisions. Like, I'm a bit of a control freak. I'm sorry, but I just am. So, yeah, like, give me something to, like, create. Give me a sandbox where I can, like, do my own thing. Like, I like messing about in games and all that, so just let me do my own thing. Don't push me to play a certain way. Like, let me do what I want. You know, and give me the agency to do what I want, you know what I mean? That's what I like in video games, and in games that let me do that are games that I love. That's why I love Mountain Blade so much, you know? Mountain Blade lets me do just that. So, yeah. Next, I want to talk about combat systems. And as you can see right here, I'm playing Star Ocean 3, which has a, yeah, the combat system is really entertaining, isn't it? There's a lot of scatter beams, that's all I'm going to say, yeah. Speaking of broken, yeah, this combat system is a bit of a mess. But the thing about it is that I love innovative combat systems. I love combat systems that are unique, that are different. Like, one of the games that I'm playing right now is Wild Arms 4. I'm actually playing that game, and that game has a really unique combat system. Like, you have all these hexes and stuff, and like, the enemies are in hexes, so you have to target the hexes, and yeah, you can move around the hexes and stuff, and like there's certain moves that can hit multiple hexes. There's moves that can like inflict statuses on certain hexes and stuff, and like if everything in the same hex will essentially like receive the same thing that is applied to that hex. So for example, if you get attacked in a hex, then you'll basically share that all the damage is shared with everyone in the party. It's a bit like Valkyrie 2, which is another innovative combat system. Although Valkyrie 2 does have single target attacks, but it's like if you get hit by like a spell like Explosion, everyone will be hit by it. But if you separate from the group, only the person that's in the group will get hit by it. So like there's group attacks, and then there's like single attacks, and then there's attacks that might just hit 2 or 3 people depending on like the area that you hit with. So yeah, you're encouraged to like split up in Valkyrie 2 for that reason. And it's sort of like that, but instead everyone has their own hex, and if everyone shares the hex, they share the damage. But there's moves that you can use that like joint struggle, which means that you can deal more damage to like enemies because you have more people in the hex and stuff like that. So there are advantages, but the disadvantage is that you share out the damage so everyone gets hit instead of just like one person. So yeah, but you also share the heals, so it's a bit that's the trade-off basically. And the thing is, if you buff, like you use like the protect buff, that applies to everyone in the hex. So it's a really interesting system that like it's really unique, and I'm into that. And that's the thing, like Valkyrie 2, another really unique combat system. Like I love games that have innovative and unique combat systems, even if they're terrible. I like it when games try something different and like try to do like something fresh and interesting that we haven't seen before. And that's one of the reasons why I play JRPGs as well, because they usually have the most innovative combat systems out there. I mean, the game I'm playing right now might have a messy combat system, but it is somewhat innovative. It tries to do its own thing. I mean, it fails. It fucking fails, you know? I mean, look at this cancel bonus. I can cancel bonus up to like 300%. That's ridiculous. That's basically just me spamming the same move, and the game encourages me to do that. Just spam specials, just simply so I can get the cancel bonus up. And yeah, there are other things that I like as well. I mean, we're getting to the end of the video now. Shit, okay. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you all next time.